Hello and welcome back to the colony with Man of the Ants. Something a little exciting, a little bit different today. Today we're going to be taking a look around View, or VU, which I'm guessing stands for Virtual Universe. One of the things I never actually asked. We'll get to that in a second. So VU, or View, is looking to be a huge online sort of persistent universe style game, sort of in the same sort of frame as Ready Player One or Otherland, that sort of thing, with player-owned land and economy and jobs and trading and bartering and all that sort of things. What we're going to have today is currently in a very closed off early alpha state. So first of all, any bugs or anything like that you see, it's really early alpha, so anything like that's to be expected. It's going for a closed beta or beta next week, and then an open beta later in the year, and then open up to a wider world again in early 2019, hopefully. Today what I've got a virtual tour of some of the basics of the game and sort of the starting areas and what you can expect, and to talk you through a little bit more about how the game's going to work with one of the lead developers of the game called Illusion Weaver, or Jerome as his actual name is, but Illusion Weaver is another name he goes by, his sort of in-game avatar name, I guess. So without further ado, let's crack on with our tour.
So hey, welcome to View. We're standing like in a little staging environment here where I can just talk a little bit about the storyline and things like that. So pretty much what we're trying to do here, we're building a virtual universe. You know, it's like our flavor of the metaverse.
Yep.
Heavily inspired by Ready Player One, obviously. But something that is that huge in scale, obviously, will need a lot of years of development. So we decided to do things a little differently. You know, in the traditional gaming space, you would, take a budget of $30 million. You would spend 3-4 years building something in stealth mode, and then you would go to E3 and announce, hey, look at our new game.
Yep.
But that's not going to work for something with this scale. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start building the universe, starting with one planet, and on that planet, one city, and then slowly over time, build that city out and build additional planets, and slowly over time, add more and more people into the world.
Yep, sounds good.
And so it's going to be like an open beta process. So right now we're on the verge of opening up our closed beta next week, so people can sign up for the closed beta. And then later the year, like early 2019, we're going to open up the open beta, and then let a lot of people loose in this world. But right now everything is under heavy construction.
Yeah.
So everything you'll see today, nothing is final quality. It's all like alpha version, but we can still show you a bunch of cool stuff. So here it's just a little bit an overview for me, so I can give a little bit of the direction here. This is the planet we're starting on. It's called Rates, which is like a very Grand Canyon style planet. So imagine huge cliffs and canyons and waterfalls, but also like open deserts with like pockets of oases, with a wide variety of like exotic different creatures and NPCs and stuff like that. So that's what we're building right now, and that's Uruk, which is the first city on this planet. And as you can see, it's like divided into districts, and right now we're actually on the construction of the District 1, which has a couple of real estate projects. One of them is like an apartment complex, which is already sold out.
Yep.
And then soon we will be moving on to like more of like a gated community and opening up like the first commercial park. Oh, I forgot to tell you how to move. Sorry.
I just kind of drifted along behind you there. So where on this map, where is District 1 at the moment?
All right. So right there you see the little U-shaped tower.
Yep.
That's Genesis Tower, so that's District 1.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the one that's under construction right now. But as you can see, this is a humongous city. I think the diameter is about 2 miles. So, and the tower in the middle is the core, which is about 150 floors high. So it's pretty big. It's going to be really epic.
So there's some pretty big waterfalls around it then?
Oh yeah, massive. That's one of the beautiful things, that everything is like fictional. We can play with stuff that doesn't exist on planet Earth, and that makes everything a lot cooler. So in the real estate project, so for example, Genesis Towers, which is a residential place where people will have their own apartments. So these are the penthouses that are in the Genesis Towers there in District 1. So the penthouses. So every user will have their home base, but you will own that real estate, just like in real life. Meaning, if you want to sell it for Bitcoin or Ethereum to another player, you are 100% available to do so. So And that will generate a certain type of player who just wants to trade resources in the game as a way of generating cryptocurrency revenues. So that will be entirely possible. But even if you're just a gamer, then you will get assigned like a very small free studio apartment where you can start out and you have your basic amenities. But if you want to, live the baller lifestyle, you're going to have to either, do something or acquire these real estates from other players.
So is all the trading going to be cryptocurrency based?
Absolutely, yeah. This is a 100% cryptocurrency project. Yeah, as you can see here in my avatar, it's pretty ugly. That's just a placeholder. So this is how the basic avatars will look like. So every free user will get one of these, the basic bots. And everybody who participates in the pre-sale and ICO will get one of the pioneer bots. So these will be exclusive. After the ICO is over, there will be no more system of getting these type of bots.
Okay.
So these are going to be pretty rare in the future, I believe. And again, these bots, they are just vehicles for the user to jump in and out. So you will be able to trade those bots with other players as well.
And will there be sort of additional customization options around the avatars as well?
Absolutely, but then again, we will tie that into some kind of virtual business places can run. So you could, for example, have imagine like a car mechanic shop, but for robots. You could run that, and then so if a player wants to customize their bot, they will have to come to your business and and pay you a fee to get these customizations done. So that will be a way for you to generate cryptocurrency then.
Yeah. So that reminds me a little bit of Star Wars Galaxies did that, didn't they? They had the sort of the in-game economic system where people could set up businesses and stuff, if I recall.
Yes, I remember. They even had, was it correct? I think they even had some kind of class that was like a dancer. And you have like dancing skill, and the higher your dancing skill, the more money you would get from other players. It was quite wild, that game. It was far ahead of its time.
Yes.
All right, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to jump in this portal, and I'll take you to the surface of the planet, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, we're actually going to start in a dark cave, so don't worry.
Okay.
But nothing creepy is going to jump at us, no zombies, so don't worry.
Good, because I'm terrible with that.
Me too. I got the torch here, so yeah, just follow me. Actually, you can take this one if you want. I'll light it for you. So,
immediately drop.
Developers, they all come from, AAA gaming studios. I don't know if you saw the About Us section.
I did, yes.
Yeah, so we work with a lot of people who know how to create very immersive environments, which is extremely important because the beautiful thing about virtual reality is if you can make an environment and you put enough love into it, so it becomes so immersive, it crosses a certain threshold, and the human brain just believes that it's real. That's where the beauty of virtual reality lies. And that is the design philosophy for everything for this game. We're really trying to make a world here that feels believable, and it just feels like a real place. So when you visit this world, it feels more like, I don't need that anymore. It feels more like you're visiting another dimension than it is you're just playing a video game. Yeah, so here we are. This is the surface of the planet.
Well, that's quite pretty.
These birds flying around.
Uh-huh.
So each animal you see, also the fish in the water and the birds, none of that is scripted. They each have their little AI brain, and they have eyes and ears, so they can see the environment, they can hear other birds. So we're just programming in such a way to behave as naturally, as organic as possible. Instead of just, hey, let's script a bird that flies around here so it looks good.
Yeah.
That doesn't cut it in VR. I mean, not if you want to really build a world that feels believable, right?
Yeah.
So I'll show you a little bit more details about that. But what we're going to do now, since we're going to cross the water, we're going to use our hover disk. So if you press any button,
hello?
It works the same as walking, just faster.
Okay.
All right, you good? Okay.
I am.
Let's go this way. Yeah, actually, I can show you here. Everything in the game is also like physics based.
Right.
So So you see, I can just.
So
the little things like stupid twigs, we don't just place them on the floor just to make the world look prettier. You can interact with them the way your brain would think you can interact with them.
Yeah.
And it's all these little details that make
it. I see a little lizard over there as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I can throw this in the water. There's flies here too. I don't know if you see them.
I can, yes, just about.
Yeah. So you can even swat them away. It's everything has to add up. Everything has to add up to that's actually something I want to add.
Yeah.
You should be able to sway them, and also resource gathering. Here's how that will work. Let's say this plant right here. Yeah. I would be able to do this, and then I have some plant fiber in my hand.
Yep.
Yeah. Then if I do this, I will have some pollen nectar or something.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right. So different parts of the plant will yield different resources, and resources are going to be extremely valuable in the game because every item in the game, even for example this here, you don't just get that. You will need to craft this. You will need to make this, or have another player make it for you if you don't want to do that. Obviously. So you can either buy it from a player who made it, but somebody will have to make it. And the way to make it is we will have big crafting machines. That's another virtual business you can run. And you go to one of these crafting machines and say, okay, here's the formula for the hover disk. And then it will say, okay, you need 12 iron ingots, 3 electrical wiring, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So resources will be very valuable because that's the only way to get items. So going out in the world and being a harvester, a resource gatherer, and harvesting resources for them to bring them back to the city and put them in the auction house, that's another, that will be another profession in the game, right? All right, let's hop back on the hover disks. Okay, I'll jump in here. So these portals, those are just to make the tour easier, because if you really wanted to go to the spot that we're going now, like in a normal way, it would take us 45 minutes just to get there.
So is there going to be some sort of fast travel or vehicles in the game too?
Yes, but again, then you will have to create your own vehicle, or it's going to be part of the timeline. Like the first 6 months of the game, the NPCs will be constructing a road to an outpost 2 miles in the desert.
Right.
So it will take a while before that is constructed, but then once it's constructed, you can take a shuttle and get to that outpost faster.
Okay.
So, the slow exploration of the planet will be part of the storyline. Okay, so this is another part here. We call this Retro Canyon. Let's go that way. Oh yeah, if you grab the squeeze trigger, you do turbo mode.
Okay.
But I only tell that to people who are already have their VR legs, because if you're new to VR, it can be a little intense.
Yeah, I am way past that at this stage.
Okay, perfect.
I got my kicks on the DK1 to start with, so I had it very rough in the beginning.
Oh my god, I remember that. Right, you see those rabbits?
Yes.
So same with the rabbits, they have their own little brain. So if we get there and we start making a ruckus, they're gonna be out of here. Okay, rabbit, get out of here. Yay. Okay.
They're wonderfully detailed, aren't they?
Yeah. So that's again part of trying to create this plausible world that feels real. Is if you do it in a cartoony style, sure, it's easy on the development, but it is not as immersive as you do it in this style.
Yeah.
So here I have some test food, so we can feed that to a rabbit. I'll just throw it here and see what happens. Maybe that rabbit already saw it. Oh, it's going to be a fight. Okay, the bird got it. Okay, that was cool. So each animal has a sense of hunger, has a sense of fear, has a sense of energy. For example, if a bird is low on energy, it's going to use its eyes So we didn't program it that, hey, if you're low on energy, just land. It's going to use its eyes like that one just did. But now he's scared of me. To look around in this world and find a spot that is suitable to land, so he can rest up, right? So you can take that bird and you can put it in a new environment it has never been in. It will do the same thing. It will also look alive.
So do they have food sources in the world as well?
Yeah, so this one now is the only one here as a test.
Yep.
For example, like that bush over here, that is like a bush that has like berries. Then it will with a random timer, on occasion it will drop berries on the floor, and that will become a food source for the animals around it.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey, this guy. So if I hold a food source in my hand, their danger, the wariness of humans is lower too. You see? But so if I drop it and I start making noise, then he's out of there. Or like certain movements, they see that too.
Yeah.
All right, let's get over here. How many trackers do you have? Do you have room scale or?
I do, yes.
Okay, good. Then if you can grab that axe there that's sticking in the log, I'll get one of these trunks here. Yeah. Let's chop some wood. Okay. Whoops. Let's try this one. Yeah, try to hit it somewhere in the middle.
Thought I did.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, and I split that again. Yes, that's what we need. I'm going to throw that on the campfire over there. Well, this one we need to split one more time. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, I need to tweak the mass of them. They will feel a little light.
They do sink though at the moment as well.
Yep. Yeah, so everything you see today is just alpha, so nothing.
Yes, of course.
Building a world like this takes a lot of time. All right, perfect. You see those fire starters there? If you grab that, one in each hand. Yeah, so it works exactly like a real fire starter. No, the other way around. The short, yep. And you have to aim it towards the fire.
Well, I can't move at the moment.
Yes, because you're holding something in both hands, so that's a bug right now. Yeah. Yep. Keep going. Yeah, well, you singed your eyebrows a little there. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fast forward time to midnight so we can enjoy our campfire. There
okay.
Boom. Well, damn, it's dark. So if you notice, it's a little dark to see, but all the birds are gone. That's because they saw with their eyes, with their virtual eyes, they saw that it's dark, so they went immediately to sleep, to go for a place to sleep.
So do they have certain roosting locations as well? Like places they go?
They find spots high up. They like to sleep on high up spots.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're probably on like the rocks and stuff. I have a flashlight here. So you can just toggle that on. There's a rabbit there. Here, I'll give it to you. And just click it with your thumb.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take this chair here and put my real life chair. There we go. Ah, yes. So, you have any questions so far?
I don't think so. It's very interesting. Well, I suppose at the moment I'm guessing these are sort of instanced sort of locations. So is it going to be loading screen free? Like, can you go across the whole planet, or will it be?
That's the plan. The plan is to use a system of like cloud servers, so you can move from one server to another without actually noticing it too much.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. So, but we haven't tested that yet with like a really large amount of people. That's going to be one of the phases in the beta, is to stress test that.
Yeah.
But in theory, that's the way we would like to achieve it. Yeah.
Ideal.
And it is possible, right? Because it's not like a technology for that doesn't exist. There's many games who do that, so it should absolutely be possible.
And so is it all going to be very... That's what I'm looking for. Like realistic worlds, or will there be kind of like... Sort of like Ready Player One or Otherland, where there's very sort of out there locations?
Because it's like an entire universe we're building, some planets will like be, batshit crazy, right? You could have a planet where there is like zero gravity, or everything is really, really weird. Or maybe even we have like black holes where everything gets distorted. So we like to keep all these options open. But the first planet is a more realistic looking planet because it also helps with people to get immersed in if it's something that they recognize.
Yeah.
That's why we have in this alien planet, we have rabbits and fish. It helps the user's brain to just accept that this is a real world. Man, there's this fly here around me somewhere.
And so all the planets will be designed. It won't be, what's the word I'm looking for? Like generated? I can't think of the word.
Like procedural generated?
Yes, thank you, yes.
Yes, well, we use that technique to help us because it's such a large amount of surface that we need to come up with. So we use it as that's how we start a new planet.
Yeah, and then you sort of sculpt it as you need.
And then we go in and we sculpt it a little better where the script failed to create like a good looking environment.
Yeah.
And that's for like 80% of the world. But 20% of the world will be meticulously crafted by us because everything that will be connected to the main storyline will be very much designed by a team for obvious reasons. But everything in between will be more randomly generated, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. So you mentioned the storyline a couple of times. Is that a fully multiplayer storyline, or is it like a single player but with co-op options, like sort of a standard MMO?
It's very interesting. So the way we would like to do this is we will have a type of quests that are story quests. And as a player, you can do these story quests, but in the beginning of the quest, let's say there is like a series of quest lines that is like an entire chapter in the story. Maybe let's say 10 different quests. 10 quests after each other, and if you go through all of them, you finish chapter 1 of the storyline. Yeah. At the beginning or in between checkpoints of the storyline, you'll be able to choose from what point of view you want to play this story. So you will be able to jump into one of the heroes. And play through that quest line, and then you will be able to later do it again and play the same story quest, but from another point of view.
Okay.
It's almost like playing a movie and just picking the character you want to play.
Yeah. And what sort of length is the storyline going to be, or is it just going to be a constantly evolving thing as long as it lasts?
Yes, absolutely. So right now we have like the basic storyline already written for the first 5 years.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's really the idea is to like have a continuously updating storyline. Like every few months there will be a patch coming out that that with the next chapter of the storyline that involves the entire community. So sometimes it will be like a call to arms of everybody working together to I don't want to spoil too much, but everybody working together to fix some kind of issue.
Yep.
And sometimes it will be more single player thing, but one of the things that we like the most is to have small teams go through a story quest. With our testing, that seems to be the most fun if you with a small group of friends can go on an adventure together.
Yes.
For example, if you play with 4 players and you each have a specific role, like one is more like a tank, one is more like a healer, and you go through an adventure here in this planet, you might arrive here on a raft that you build together. You're rafting here, and then here you're setting up a camp because the sun is starting to go down. So you're working together, chopping wood, get a campfire, going to set up a camp, and then in the middle of the night, you might get attacked by a pack of wolves or something.
Okay.
All right, let's go to well, first I'm going to change it to morning so we can see what we're doing here. Sunrise, yeah, there we go, that's better. And then let's jump in this part right here, and that's the last part I can show you.
So outside of the main storyline, would there be sort of side missions, quests as well, that sort of thing, I'm guessing?
And it's also it's a little special. We call them random quests. And the way it works, if you're like exploring the surface of the planet, and you're just out there by yourself, and just hey, what's behind that corner, and you want to go scope it out, that you can encounter a random triggered quest.
Okay.
We have a system like it's called the director, who is like keeping an eye on you, what you're doing.
Yes.
And if the conditions are right for a certain specific event to happen,
okay,
then it will trigger that, and you will be suddenly like a caravan comes past with an NPC talking to, hey man, we have this problem, I need you to go do in that mine over there and get this because we need to do that. Typical side quests.
So it sounds like a bit like a mix of Red Dead Redemption had a similar thing. So it sounds like a mix of that and Left 4 Dead 2 had like a director kind of AI, didn't it, that did similar things?
Exactly. You got it. You nailed it on the head right there. That's exactly what it is. And I think in like a very immersive MMORPG like this, that could be a lot of fun. All right, so here we have our creator pylon. So the idea with this is, imagine that you just bought this plot of land right here. This little piece here is your little corner of the canyon.
Mm-hmm.
But then you want to give the users the tools to like customize it, like build stuff in this to make it their own. So that's why we have the creator pylon. So you can just swap this around and say, okay, I'm going to start by placing some rocks. Here are the rocks that are in my inventory. Now, we want to make it fun and easy so casual users can do it too. So you pretty much just throw, let's stick some props here. Let's put a chair. And these are smart objects too, meaning that all the programming is already done. You, as a user, you don't need to worry about that. Let's say if you have a campfire, you have a campfire. And after 10 minutes, the fire will go out, and then it's up to you to put new firewood on top of it. So the program is already done, right? You don't need to worry about any of that.
So can you chop down trees to get wood and that sort of thing?
Yes. Trees. Let's put a tree over there, and this one over here, and like a dead tree over here. Why not? And then you have tools as well, so you have a little bit of customization, like you can, shrink them. Make a little one here, and then I'm gonna move. Move this one over here, and maybe rotate it. Yeah, voila. So the idea is do it in a fun and intuitive way, so you don't need to read through manuals and use a mouse and keyboard on a 2D screen to try to recreate your own virtual world.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense to me. If you go that route, then users might as well just learn Unity or Unreal.
Yeah.
So let's make it in a fun way, so even my grandma can do this, and do all the hard work, so people don't need to worry about that. For example, you remember those birds?
Uh-huh.
If you would have captured one of those birds, so you can let it loose in your corner of the world, and it's in your inventory, you can just drop it, and the AI will kick in, and now it's alive in your world. You don't need to do any coding for that.
Cool.
So if you don't feed that bird, it will eventually die. So that's a little. And the same thing, if you're sitting here enjoying your environment, like say you're just relaxing here and you're enjoying the view, eventually the sun will go down. I'm just using shortcuts now. So everything is dynamic. It's not like static maps. Okay, maybe a rabbit.
That is very cool.
Maybe 150 rabbits. Actually, I don't want them to run over the campfire. Let me remove that, because that might crash everything. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens.
So it's a time of day. I know you said obviously you're using shortcuts here for the demo, but is that a dynamic thing?
Yeah,
in game normally,
but we're really trying to. But the problem with that is that, to be honest, the dynamic lights in VR are still really hard to do, and they don't look as good as the static lights. So we're not 100%. We would love to be dynamic, and we actually do have a version of our demo in house that has dynamic sunlight, where you actually if you just stand here 20 minutes, the sun will slowly go through the sky.
Yeah.
But it's not the same quality of lighting.
Right.
And it takes it takes about 30% more performance just to have dynamic light. So we're not 100% sure yet if we that might be one of these things that we need to wait for the next generation of graphic cards in order to pull it off.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future, but right now I'm afraid we will have to stick with like time intervals where it goes from like morning to noon immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I can show you today. So it's still, as you can tell, very, very early days.
Very impressive, though, early as it is.
Thank you, yeah. We have a really great team, so. But I'm hoping it gives you a good indication of what we're trying to build here. I think it's super exciting. Nobody's ever tried to build this before. This is like our flavor of the metaverse. And just a combination of cryptocurrency with a world like this in VR, that just makes so much sense to me. That I'm really curious to see what the world will think about this.
So for someone like me, I've never dabbled with cryptocurrency. So if I wanted to get involved, how would I go about doing that?
Well, it's actually pretty easy right now. So you can participate in the pre-sale, which just means you're going to get 25% bonus tokens extra on top of what you buy. And you can buy any amount of tokens. So that's a big misconception people have. I often hear people say, oh yeah, man, I missed the boat on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is too expensive now. That's not how it works. You can buy $5 worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It was, doesn't really matter. So it's the same here. So we have our View token, which is an Ethereum-based token, which you can buy right now on the website with the pre-sale. So whatever you think you will need in the future to start your little life in View, that's whatever you buy now will end up helping you in the future for sure. On top of that, because it's the pre-sale and because we just opened it up, we have a special promotion going on now. Does everybody who does participate, doesn't matter what amount, they will get a free penthouse. And there is only 12 left, so you do need to be fast. So I think tomorrow they're probably going to be all gone.
Right.
But that's pretty much the stage we're in. And then next week we're starting to have the beta signups go live, and then somewhere later this summer we will start actually allowing people into the world and start doing some testing. That's going to be fun.
So how much content is there within the closed beta?
It's going to go in stages. So what we're actually doing in District 1, remember from the beginning?
Yep.
Yeah, it could be possible that they only see the hover disk. Let's see. Wow, or their eyes are, or they're blind.
Yeah, one did Scarper for me just now.
Hey!
It's been very brave.
This one might be like set with super brave parameters. Yeah, so remember District 1? What we're building in District 1 also is a test center. And I don't know if you ever played Portal.
Yes.
So remember Portal Aperture Science? You go from test chamber to test chamber.
Yep.
We're doing the exact same thing, and we're isolating all the different core gameplay elements that we will apply throughout the universe in like little isolated test chambers, so we can get feedback from players in a very precise way. So the first wave of the beta will be just people allowing entrance to the test center and allowing them to give feedback on like the hover disk, feedback on interaction with the world, feedback on interaction with the animals. How the inventory system works, all of these things. That will be the first beta test, and slowly over time we will start to open up more and more of the world to the test users.
Okay.
All right, that's what I can show you today. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Really interested to see where it goes.
That's good to hear. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Eh?
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So there we go. That was View. That was a very interesting, very exciting game. Game? Yeah, game. Of course, it's got a single-player campaign and all sorts, so definitely a game. I don't know why I even paused on that. Very interesting. Really interested to see where it goes. Sort of thing that I think might have possibly a bit of a rocky start. It can take a little while for these things to ramp up a little bit. Obviously, you need a relatively large player base and a lot of actual interaction and economy to get it off the ground and get it going. But that being said, really interesting. The AI of the animals sort of thing, the whole crafting and mining sort of thing. There have been other VR MMOs. There's nothing been quite as ambitious as this, at least not yet. So yeah, I mean, even like he said, the starting city that they're going to start off with is what do you say, 2 miles, 2 kilometers wide? I mean, that's huge. That's a massive, massive thing, and that's just the starting city. The overall aim is to have, you know, multiple cities like that on this planet and multiple planets across the whole shared universe. So yeah, the scope of the game is amazing. It really is. Luckily, it seems to have some nice basic building blocks in place. It looks beautiful. The environments look good. They seem to have a relatively simple set of design tools and the way that they do the procedural generation and then craft it down after like that. So it doesn't mean that something as large as that is going to be necessarily very difficult. It won't be easy, obviously, but it's not going to be quite as difficult as crafting it all by hand or as random and unplanned as a fully procedurally generated game where you can have either the sort of No Man's Sky effect, where you have very similar terrain, very similar planets repeated over and over again. You get to see very quickly what it is the game can offer you. So yeah, really interesting to see where this goes. I haven't currently, so I do have an account. I haven't signed up for the closed beta yet, and I'm sure if I did, obviously, I won't be able to show you anything from it either. But I'm going to try and sign up for it just to see where it goes. And then hopefully in the open beta stage, or when it launches a bit later on in 2019, we'll come back to it definitely and see how the game has progressed and see how it's going. Because as I said, I'm really interested to see where this goes. It's not something I would generally, like in a pancake standard monitor version, not something I would generally play. But in VR, everything's different. Everything's different in VR. So anything that happens in VR, I want to see firsthand and see how it goes. And something like this, it'd be very interesting to see it from the starting blocks and see how it grows and how it blossoms and what it becomes. So yeah, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. If you enjoyed that little virtual tour, first of all, again, a thank you to Illusion Weaver for the tour. It was very much appreciated. If you enjoyed it, please do click the like button. It is really appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have any questions or comments, then let me know down below. If you got any questions for the devs, I'm sure they might be popping around in the comments section later on. If you want me to pop anything directly to Illusion Weaver, do let me know. I'll just pop him a message on Discord and I'll come back to you in the comments and let you know what he says. So yes, very interesting. Let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, I will see you next time, hopefully in some point in the relatively near future, back in view. Or I will see you in streaming. And don't forget, there will be no stream this coming week. There will be a stream on the 25th again. So I'm not sure when this video is going to come out. It may be on Wednesday or maybe Thursday, Friday. But there wouldn't have been a stream this week. So the 25th is the next stream. So back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. So I'll hopefully see you there. And as always, thank you very much for joining me.